In this video, I will describe what distributions are from data analysis perspective. Distributions are sets of data uh, that are structured, and distributions are one of the ways that we can actually describe those data sets. So if you remember from your algebra classes from school, where we had sets and subsets, and inside each sets we had elements. So a distribution is pretty much another word in a statistical term for a set, and each value inside the distributions are the elements of the set. Now that we know what distributions are, let's talk about the types of distribution. The type of distribution I'll be talking about in this video is frequency distribution. The frequency distribution describes how often a data occurs in a distribution. So, for example, if we have this is an example of what a dis of a distribution, and if we have multiple values for ages here, as it is 21, 24, 24, 25, 28, 30, 44, 90, 150. So a frequency distribution can help us describe how often each value, each each element in a distribution occurs. So there are two types of distributions, mainly categorical and numerical. Of course, this is a numerical distribution where where the elements or the values of the distribution are numbers. Uh, uh, a categorical distribution or a distribution that contain categorical data could be, for example, name of a school, and it could be, let's say, XYZ, XX, ZZ, and these are categories. Um, there are two types of frequency distributions. There's those that are numerical, um, that we call them grouped, because we can actually group them, and there's the ungrouped. So if we were to, for example, instead of putting how many times 21 years of age or value occurs in a data set, we can actually say we can actually group and say how many times did the age between 21 and 24 occur, and how many times did the age between 25 and 30 occur, and how many times did the age between 44 and 150 occur. So a group frequency allows numerical data to be grouped, or to be put into classes of intervals, and then we can measure them, count them based on those groups. And the ungrouped frequency distributions, they are most common in categorical data, just like the names of the schools here. And we can't really group them. We can't say first, and we can group them in a way to say X, Y, like schools under West or South region, but we can't set an interval or measurement between them. But the efficacy of group frequency distribution is more in numerical data, and the ungrouped frequency is more in categorical data. However, we could also use ungrouped frequency distribution for numerical data, which I will explain in a minute. A couple things: that each category that that occurs in a distribution is called class, and a frequency distribution is called class, and each numerical value is called a range. Now, let me go to SPSS and show what I'm talking about here. So we have two variables here, as you can see. There's the age, which is numerical data type, and then there's transportation, which is a character or string data type. So the age, as you can see, it goes from 18 to 45 years of age, and all of them are numerical, and we can use group frequency to group these ages, but for the transportation we cannot group them numerically, while we can group them in categories where we cannot group them numerically. So for the age, but in this video, I'll only be explaining how to prepare, how to calculate a or how to produce a frequency distribution for ungroup frequency distribution. So in this video, I'll only be providing, I'll not be recoding the age, the numerical data into different groups and produce frequency based on that. So both of the analysis will be ungrouped. So in order to do that, you simply go to descriptive statistics and frequency, and in this case, you can put both variables. It will just produce two different tables. If you put one, it produce one table, but they will be independent. So that would be it. And click on display frequency tables just to make sure that the output also includes its frequency tables. Let's not worry about the statistics and everything else here because the aim of this video is to produce table of frequency distribution. Click on OK, and we get two tables. As you can see that um, the on the transportation, which is categorical, we have one, two, three, four, five. Well, this is a misspelling, so it should be train. Five categories of. Let me just go back and change this. I typed them in a hurry. Second, please. So as you can see, there are four categories of transportation. So the frequency distribution actually allows you to count, to look at the count of each of these categories to see how many times they occurred. So airplane occurred once, buses occurred 8 times, cars occurred 5 times, trains occurred 3 times. And the percentage is the percentage of each of these occurrences. So divided, it's pretty much the value divided by the total number. And valid percent is it will only be used if we have missing values. Since we have zero missing values, they both are the same. But if we were to have missing values, then you would use a valid percent because this percent will not factor in the missing values. And cumulative percentage is cumulative percentage shows the accumulation of each of these proportions working towards the last category. So 55.9% adds to 47.1 gives us this accumulation. And 52.9 added with 29.4 gives us this accumulation. 82.4 added with 17.6 gives us 100% accumulation. Same thing with the age. As I said, I will not be grouping the variables to produce a group frequency distribution. Rather, it's ungrouped, as you can see. Each of the ages here, they're not grouped. Each value is input is the way it is. So 18 years of age, we have frequency 4 times. For 23 years of age, we have frequency of 2 times. 25, we have 2 times. 28, we have 1 time. So same thing with the percentages. The percentages of each of the frequencies is displayed here, and the valid percent or percent are will only be different if we have missing values. But then since we have zero missing values in our total number of of data points, we they both are the same. And cumulative is the same thing I just explained for the transportation. I hope this video was helpful. In the next video, I'll describe how to how to recompute numerical data into group categories and produce group frequency distribution. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much.